Have you ever had the feeling that no matter how much you change jobs, cities, or relationships, the same problems always find you? As if there's an invisible pattern forcing you to repeat the same arguments, the same financial mistakes, and the same frustrations? This isn't bad luck. This is a script. Most people are born with a destiny script pre-installed in the human hardware. This software dictates who you should be, how much you are allowed to earn, and what level of happiness you can endure before self-sabotaging. The system doesn't need to watch you 24/7 because it installed the script inside your mind. You are living a life written by an intelligence that is not your essence. To the Matrix, you are just a character executing predictable lines of code. Your free will is an illusion as long as you are running the system's default script. Let me be direct. You are not in control because you are not the author of your story. You are merely the lead actor in a script that was written for you. Many ask, how was I born with a script? Who installed it? The Matrix script isn't implanted by a chip. It is installed through frequency and biology. It starts in your DNA, the hardware that carries the traumas, limits, and emotional debts of your ancestors. You inherit your grandparents' scarcity, and your parents' fear like factory settings. Before you even uttered your first word, the system defined the size of your cage through culture and education. Between the ages of 0 and 7, your brain operated in a state of deep hypnosis, theta waves. You were a sponge, absorbing the environment's script without a critical filter. This data isn't just memories, it becomes your base operating system. The system implants the script through repetition and trauma. Every painful event in your childhood was a line of code written to ensure that, in the future, you self-sabotage every time you get close to freedom. You think you make decisions based on the present, but 95% of your choices are just the script reacting to triggers from the past. You are a biological robot executing orders from a system that wants to keep you productive yet predictable. And here is where it becomes real for you today. This script creates a frequency signature. The Matrix is a pattern recognition software. If your script says you are a hard worker who never has enough, physical reality is forced to organize itself to confirm that. The system sends the right people, the right problems, and the right coincidences to ensure you never break character. This is why changing jobs doesn't work and winning the lottery doesn't last. If you don't change the internal script, the Matrix will pull you back into the role it designed for you. You are not fighting luck. You are fighting high-precision programming. To break the script, you must first understand that the you defend so much is just the mask the script gave you to wear in the system's play. Liberation begins when you realize your current story is a work of fiction. To break the script, you must stop being a character seeking to improve and become a processing error. You must learn to be incoherent with your own story. If you recognized your own life's loops in this description, leave a like. This is more than a click. It's your signal that you've identified the script and no longer accept the lead role in this fiction. Subscribe to Wake. We are stopping the decoration of the cell and starting to hack the walls. The system expects your reaction. What it doesn't expect is your incoherence. So, how do you break pattern recognition software? By being unpredictable. The Matrix keeps you trapped because it knows exactly what you will do next. If someone insults you, the script predicts you'll defend yourself or get hurt. If an unexpected bill arrives, the script predicts you'll panic or complain. These are coherent reactions to your scarcity character. As long as you are coherent with your past, you are trackable. To break the script, you must practice incoherent action. This means acting in a way that your emotional system and the architect cannot process. It's the moment you look at the problem that should destroy you and, instead of panic, you emit absolute silence. Or better, you give thanks as if you already had the solution. When you do this, you create a glitch, a processing error in the simulation. The system tries to deliver the usual result, the loop, but since your reaction changed, the code freezes. The Matrix is forced to recalculate your timeline because your behavior no longer makes sense within the old script. But beware, To be incoherent, you must first map your script. Start observing your automatic responses. You know that urge to justify yourself when someone criticizes you? That's a line of code. That feeling that nothing ever works out for you when something goes wrong? That's the script running. You must treat these emotions not as truths, but as system notifications. When the financial panic notification appears on your mental screen, don't click it. Stay still. Look at the emotion and say, "This is part of the old script. I refuse to execute this command." Liberation doesn't come from fighting the script, but from becoming illegible to it. The moment you stop delivering the reaction the system expects, you become a void on the system's radar. It loses its target. It is in this reaction vacuum that you gain the space needed to type your own code. You stop being a biological robot and start being the programmer. And here is where it becomes dangerous for your ego. The system will try to pull you back. When you start acting incoherently with your history of failure, people around you, who are also actors in your script, will find it strange. They'll say you've changed, that you're acting weird or being irresponsible. What they are actually feeling is their matrix's processing error. They need you to keep being the usual character, so their own scripts make sense. Being a script breaker requires the courage to be the villain in other people's place, to be the hero in your own reality. You must sustain your new frequency even when the mirror and your internal noise scream that you are crazy. Insanity to the system is the first sign of sanity for your essence. You are breaking the simulation's logic to access the source's logic. What happens when software can no longer predict the user's next step? It loops and eventually collapses. When you sustain your incoherent action, the walls of the cell you tried to paint gold begin to dissolve. The script collapse is not a loud event. It is absolute silence in the plot of your life. Suddenly, those problems that haunted you for decades simply stop appearing. The people who served as anchors for your old character move away or lose their power to affect you. The system gives up on you because you've become invalid data. You are no longer a functional battery. In this programming vacuum, the matrix loses the authority to project your tomorrow. For the first time in your biological existence, your future stops being a repetition of your past. You are at the script's point zero. This is where the fear of freedom arises, because now there are no more tracks. Now you own the pen. But understand this. You don't break the script to be left with nothing. You break it to take authorship from your essence. The moment the old script collapses, do not rush to write a new set of rules based on the ego's desire. If you do, you'll just create a more luxurious cell. True mastery is inhabiting the state of scriptless. It is living from the internal command, moment to moment, without needing security or predictability. When you operate from the source, you don't plan your life, you emit it. You stop being the actor memorizing lines and start being the designer deciding the frames. Physical reality, which was once your jailer, now becomes your canvas. The mirror's delay decreases because there is no longer an old script trying to hold back the change. Matter bows to the will of one who can no longer be predicted by the system. If you are ready to stop being a character and become the error that sets the system free, leave a like. Subscribe to Wake. We aren't here to help you have a better life inside the matrix. We are here to teach you how to get out of it. And today we mark the end of your career as the system's actor. Go to the comments and write, "I am the script breaker." By writing this, you are giving the final delete command to the lines of code that limited you until today. Don't look at what the script says you are. Look at what your essence knows you can be. The play is over. The theater is empty. The simulation's lights have gone out for you. Stop acting. Start commanding. The script is dead. The pen is yours. I am the author. Welcome to Wake.